Want to hear about Gary getting arrested yesterday?
I certainly do.
Okay.
What is this all about?
Well, Gary calls me last night, and I'm not even clear on all the details. I'm not sure I understand it completely, but it seems kind of ridiculous. I've heard about this sting operation going on down in the subways. They do it every day. And Gary, you know, let's face it, there's a difference between lowlives. Well, Gary kind of looks, you could kind of pass for a lowlife.
You know what? I realized, I was telling a story to somebody last night, I look Hispanic.
Yeah.
I really do.
Not that I'm saying all Hispanics are lowlives, but...
No, but...
You know how cops look at Hispanics.
Right.
Gary looks Hispanic, and I think they...
And they pick on him because...
Yeah, because he looks Hispanic.
He's targeted.
Right. Which I'm saying is unfair.
Of course.
You know, it's not right, but...
What are they supposed to do?
Right. And, you know, I understand the cops are doing their job and everything, and I'm glad they're down in the subway trying to catch leeches. But at the same point, they've got to be a little more thorough than just, you know, handcuff. Well, Gary got handcuffed on the whole deal.
Well, what did they accuse
here's
him
what
of
happened.
doing?
All right. Gary went down to the subway last night. He was going on a date.
Uh-huh.
Which he didn't even tell me about. Who are you dating?
No, I was just going to meet a friend for a movie. It wasn't like a date.
A girl.
Right.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a date.
It wasn't a date. It wasn't a date, Robin.
Okay, Howard.
It was a date.
Because I was going to say they should have arrested him. He was dating on a weeknight?
Yeah, you shouldn't be out dating on a weeknight.
I was going to a movie
No one
screening.
on the show is allowed to do that.
I was going to a movie screening, actually. I was going to see Stella.
It's important that you see that, because you can talk about it on the air. I see. Gary's now doing a show.
Right.
But okay. So,
one at a time, please.
So anyway, so Gary's walking down the subway. What were you wearing, like sneakers and stuff?
I was wearing jeans, sneakers, and my football jacket.
Because I remember when I first met you at NBC, I was a little nervous hiring you because you did look a little, not Puerto Rican, but you looked shady. He looked shady. And now I know him.
I'm trying to think. See, I can't remember.
I don't know how I thought that of him. Because I know him so well, but he really looks shady. Maybe the mustache.
I don't know. Maybe the hair, the mustache.
Mustache cut your hair. But even when I saw you back then, I don't. He just looks. He looks like a juvenile delinquent. You know what I mean? But not even a cool juvenile delinquent, like a heavy metal band. He looks like a guy who gets in trouble.
Yeah. A ne'er-do-well.
You know, and he's all smelly and everything. So cops probably think he's just a vagrant.
He's not smelly in that sense.
Well, you know, cheap teeth, dumb stare, you know, the whole look. So anyway, the thing the cops are looking for. So Gary has like a pile of and I'm going to say something about Gary. I'm going to vouch for him. He's a real honest guy.
Yes, he is.
I would trust him with just about anything. Not with the show, but with just, you know, my personal life, I trust him with stuff.
With money and stuff.
Right,
like
money. I mean, I even I'm at the point where I would say to Gary, hold my wallet for me. Gary, go take money out of my wallet. I mean, I'm at that point with you that I know you wouldn't steal or do anything wrong. He's a real honest guy. He's almost shamefully honest. So, look, tears are welling up. You just can't believe it.
I just keep thinking about this event.
Yeah, I know. He's really upset because he was up till midnight.
Well, I don't understand how. I mean, what did you do? You jump over a turnstile?
No. Listen what happened. So the cops were down there to catch people jumping over turnstiles. And Gary goes down. He has a pile of tokens, and you went to put your money in the turnstile.
Right, but it was jammed.
It was jammed. Now, I think what they're doing in these sting operations is jamming the turnstiles to see what people will do or something.
Uh-huh.
So Gary pushed his coin onto the other coin that was jamming it, and...
See, well, you have to understand something. The turnstiles are constantly jammed in Manhattan, always.
Right.
So sometimes if there's a token in there, and you pull the turnstile back a little bit, you get in, and then you push it forward, and you knock on it, it unjams.
Right.
You know, I mean, there were
sometimes you're able to get through, and sometimes you're not, and you have to put a coin in.
Now, you have to understand, this is 5:30 at the 72nd Street Station on Broadway, so it's not like me and one other guy.
Yeah, it's crowded.
There are like 70 people waiting to get into one turnstile.
Right.
And sometimes, like I said, if you knock on some of the jam ones, you can get through.
Now, you said you were going through a weird turnstile, though.
I think it was like a special entry one, but I put my token in.
What do you mean special entry?
They have one where it's not supposed to. You're not supposed to be able to get through unless they push a button for you. Like sometimes you have a transfer, or if you're handicapped, or if you have if you're a policeman, you show your badge.
But you weren't that aware of that,
right? But I was just running, so you should even be able to get through that one.
Right.
It should be locked.
Yeah, I mean, it's not our responsibility to know that that's a special turnstile. Am I correct? I'll go along with Gary on that.
Go on.
So I
Just tell
went
me
through,
what happened.
and I
Was it empty, though, and everyone else was waiting on a long line for a different one? So
I see. So the turnstile turned is what you're telling me.
Right.
Okay.
And I went through.
But you put your coin in.
I put my coin in one. I put my coin. You know, it all happened so fast. I still really am confused about it. But I know I had my token in my hand. I tried to put it in one. I went through, and my token didn't go in. It came out again, and I had it in my hand. And that's when the cop came and grabbed me.
That's ridiculous.
And he saw you holding the token?
I said, I have it right here. I have it right here. Here it is. It's too late, buddy. It's too late.
And then they, listen to this, they threw him up against the wall, right?
No.
They
Let me
didn't?
say right now, the policemen were very, very nice, except for the fact that they wouldn't listen to a word I had to say.
He said that's why there's judges, which is true.
So they took
they're not supposed to listen.
But I think at some point you say to yourself, well, wait a second, this guy's pretty upstanding. He's got a token in his hand. He's trying to, you see him trying to jam the stupid thing in. And then, although, why were you trying to jump the, I mean, you were jumping the line in this. Why do you think everyone else was waiting on the other line?
But everybody was trying to go through all of them. You know, people would go in.
So there were other people going through it, too.
Right.
And they were putting money in.
Or trying to put the token in. So the guy
was he in plain clothes or was he uniformed?
They were all plain clothes.
Okay.
It was like I said, it was a sting operation. So the guy that got me was pretty young. So he showed me his badge, and then two other guys.
And then he handcuffed you, right?
Well, no, wait. Two other guys came and got me, and they start pushing me into this men's room, right?
Yeah.
So I said, guys, listen, nothing personal, but I want to see your badges because, you know, you're taking me, I didn't know who they were.
Right.
They take me in the bathroom and beat me up. So they showed me their badges, and they brought me in, and there in this bathroom are, like, the dregs of society.
Dregs like no wallets, they have no ID, they have, you know, and they've all been pulled in for this 100 times, and other stuff.
And it was a daisy chain handcuff.
You were handcuffed to these people?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Okay, one of the guys on the daisy chain was complaining that he just joined Phoenix House, and if he didn't get home before dark, he couldn't get in.
Yeah.
One guy had no identification on him at all,
Right.
but he could verify who he was real easy.
Yeah.
One woman was this Colombian woman, and she was like 25 years old. And this
Did they check her intestines?
Yeah, they want to x-ray her.
Yeah, see if there's any used condoms swallowed.
Her only form of identification was a card to the CBS Video Club.
Right.
Right,
cool. Look what they're accepting. There's a club I don't want to join.
Then there was another guy who had no identification.
Right.
And then there was a Spanish guy who didn't speak any English.
Oh, man. I'd freak out because you're like caught in a Twilight Zone.
That would be it for me.
Yeah, I'd be like...
They find a dead person on the daisy chain.
Yeah, right.
I would have died.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I fall apart there. I'd be like... Please. So Gary did tell one guy he was Gary Delabate from the Howard Stern Show.
One guy, they went to put the handcuffs on me, and I'm like backing up and everything. I go, I just lost it. I really did. I go, you guys ever listen to the Howard Stern Show? I'm Boy Gary. I'm Boy Gary.
It's like you're in hell.
Whack. They put him right on.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even listen.
Not even. So then this guy goes to me. One of the cops says, after I've been there for about 20 minutes, he goes, you look really familiar. I said, do you ever listen to Howard Stern? He goes, no, that ain't it. I was trying anything to get in his hand.
I think I've seen you in a lineup somewhere.
He said to me, he goes, didn't I see you in the post office?
Yeah,
once?
you look real shady, I'm telling you.
Really, he could fit a lot of those descriptions.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear about mafia guys or this or that, Gary looks like that.
They used to say that I look like, what was that guy's name?
Gus Faraci.
Gus Faraci.
Yeah, without the physique.
Right.
But the thing is that now what's he going to do? He has to go get a lawyer and everything?
You mean they booked him?
They give him a summons, right?
They gave me a summons, and I think I have to make a court appearance. But it was really cool because what they do is they put you on this daisy chain, and there's like 8 guys on it, right? And they take
you know what they don't realize that for a responsible person, this can really screw up your head because you know anybody who has nothing to lose doesn't care about getting arrested on something. Right. Nothing will happen to you. But you know this is just like a real pain in the ass for anybody who's responsible, has to go to work. It hangs over your head until you get it all settled.
And you wonder why people who have jobs and are responsible don't use Subway.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is what goes on. It's bad enough you go down there and risk your life. They should pay you to get on there.
To traveling with the criminal element.
Because, you know, this carries up to a year in jail.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh, man. Oh,
man.
So what
do you have a record after this?
Yeah, sure. An arrest record, sure.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't think it was technically...
You've been arrested, right?
I wasn't arrested. I was detained.
You've been arrested.
I have.
Yeah, right.
Is this petty larceny?
No, wait a second. I have the ticket right here.
Yeah, it can't be...
Let me see that.
Only a misdemeanor because it's not $50.
Fare evasion. And then on the bottom, look what they wrote when they actually give the description of it. It's $50. It's not the money. It's just I don't want it on my record.
Observed respondent manipulate wheel and illegally enter system.
Oh, yeah, you're
man.
a real, your character. You manipulate the wheel.
But wait a second, I got to tell you what happened. So
Where's the cop's name?
it's on the bottom somewhere.
But see, that's the kind of thing where it says, you know, on those applications, have you been ever had
arrested.
any brushes with the law other than traffic violations?
And you got to write that in.
You're not supposed to ask that anymore.
No, they're not?
But can I just tell you
You
something?
can't ask that anymore?
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, they
What kind
should.
of a world is that?
I'm not hiring somebody without finding out if they've been arrested.
That's right.
If I saw this, I never would have hired you. I didn't know you were this kind of person.
They put me handcuffed on this like daisy chain thing, right? And then they take everybody's name and they go and call them in, and then they decide who stays and who goes. And like,
Although it sounds to me like you were doing something a little bit weird. Like, I mean,
I just couldn't get through. I mean, I was in a rush, but there was a token in there, and I was trying to push one in, and
I've done that a million times, though.
Sure, you go and you jiggle the thing.
Yeah, right.
right, because they're
But don't you think it was kind of like
jammed up.
set up?
Well, yeah,
They probably jammed it.
I just feel that they were doing like everyone else really was jumping and stuff. So I think I just kind of fell through the cracks.
And then details of violation. Observed respondent manipulate wheel and illegally enter system. I mean, how can you win with that kind of
Right, yeah,
description?
because basically he's right.
Yeah.
What should he have done, though?
What should he have done when he was being arrested?
No, but I mean, you went through.
Yeah, what's the legal thing to do? When it's jammed up, you're supposed to go back?
Oh, you're supposed to turn around and say, oh, it didn't take my token.
You ever try to get in touch with a woman locked inside that glass, bulletproof glass booth? You can't get in touch with anybody
They
down there.
won't talk to you when you're buying tokens.
No. We used to go down there and ask them if we brought a 20. The only time they would talk to you is they'd yell at you for giving them a 20
Remember how that woman used to yell at us?
because they're such schmoes they can't even figure out the exact change to give you.
Why are you bringing a 20 in here for?
Wait, I have to tell you
I'm
something.
trying to
real
read the
funny.
cop's name, Joseph.
Well, he's just
And he's a paisan.
no, he wasn't. Was he?
Burbliglia. It ends in an IA.
Nobody was caring about anything.
Bimbliblibla.
It was like a supermarket.
Did you tell him you were,
It didn't matter.
You didn't start speaking Spanish.
No, but can I just tell you?
What, did you speak Spanish?
So half these people that are on this daisy chain, after they call their names in, they all get put on the truck
Right.
because they all have outstanding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a second.
They all
Yeah,
have-
what is happening?
I'm having trouble with the mics. Yeah.
They all have like half of them have done it a lot of times, and half of them have done other things, and they just happen to be getting caught for jumping the
So
turnstile.
Gary's all freaked out. So I guess what
Where
we
did
should
he
do.
call you from?
Home. I went back home.
Oh, they
Why don't you
didn't
just-
take you down to a station.
No, they just detained me for about an hour.
I'm sure there's an easy way to get a lawyer with some connections to get this thing straightened out in 2 seconds.
But I just want to tell you something really funny. This Colombian woman that was handcuffed to me.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to the bathroom. We were like in the men's room, and I said, "Listen, honey, I ain't going because I would have had to go in with her."
Yeah.
I said, "You just wait till we get out of here."
Oh, man.
I wouldn't say anything to anybody on one of those lines.
They were all really weird people. I mean, no one,
Yeah.
we weren't talking to each other. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, right.
8 people like all looking different ways.
Yeah, and everybody saying they're innocent, and you're really innocent.
Except for the one guy from Phoenix House. He kept going, "I have to be back at Phoenix House before dark, or they won't let me in."
But see, that's the problem, like when you go to a mental institution
Yeah.
and you do the appropriate thing for a normal person to let people know you're sane,
And
you
just make-
sound
yeah,
crazy.
you sound crazy. Excuse me, I'm normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all saying that.
I've already got a lawyer.
Who's your lawyer?
I don't know, but it's a guy. He doesn't want his number out in there, but he said the same thing happened to him.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, he
Well,
just wants to discuss it with you.
Yeah, right.
maybe we'll
What's your
call.
tactic?
Maybe we'll get Dominic Barbara.
Yeah, he should know
I am
somebody.
calling Dominic.
He might be the guy to get.
He may not be the guy to do it, but he knows
Yeah.
the people to do it.
Yeah, he might be the
He'll
guy.
get you divorced from the system.
He's the show lawyer. So.
I didn't have enough money to pay a speeding ticket on Staten Island and got arrested. And since my buddy couldn't get home and get money and get back to Staten Island by 5 o'clock, which is when they closed the local jail,
Yeah.
I got transported in one of those vans that has a window about 2 inches square.
Yeah.
That actually has bars in the.
Yeah, that's pretty frightening.
I was handcuffed to 2 guys.
Weren't you scared?
Murderers,
I had a speeding ticket, and there were murderers. I mean, the
Murderers.
one guy, I swear to God, one of the guys, because we went around different parts of the city picking up people in this thing, and to bring them all to Brooklyn House of Detention. One guy was like in a short.
Well, you were arrested. You were arrested for public drunkenness, right?
That's a different story. But,
All right.
but this one guy.
That time he didn't care who he was with.
Yeah.
They open up the door, the guy gets in, they close the door, and before they hardly had closed the door, the guy just took a pin out of his pocket and opened up his handcuffs. So
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
The girl,
He's loose.
the girl that I was with was so excited about the whole thing. She was like really digging it. And she said to the cop, she said, "Excuse me, are we gonna go like to get to hang out with like real murderers and stuff? Are we gonna get to go to
Great.
jail?"
Yeah, great.
She's looking for some pointers.
Yeah.
Some action. Looking for
Where'd she study? At the
Charles
Dickens School of Law? Lore? Because I once had the same incident what Jackie's talking about. We were caught doing 115 miles an hour upstate New York in a car.
Yeah?
And my friend was driving, and they left me and my other friend on the side of the road, and they hauled him off because we didn't have any money. And they took him to a garage, like this guy was Andy Mayberry.
Yeah.
The judge up there was Andy Mayberry. He does it from his house in his garage. He has like a little desk in his garage. And the cop brought him into the garage and told us to go back and fleece our friends, get as much money as we could. And we just handed it over to the guy, and then they let us go. They just fleeced us for as much money as they could get.
Oh, yeah, that's what they do in that small town.
We were left on the side of the road for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, thinking our friend was dead.
They ask you how much money you've got, and then they tell you what to find.
Yeah, right. And it was everything we had. And then we had a panhandle out of Howard Johnson's to get gas money because nobody had a credit card.
Oh, man. Pearl's not fit for decent people.
No. Although we were doing 115 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, it was wrong. And the guy was on speed. But this was in college, and I didn't know. I wasn't on speed. He was. He was wired.
But what were you doing in a car with a person doing 115 and you weren't screaming?
Oh, yeah, we were yelling at him, but he was on speed. He was up for 3 days. He couldn't calm down. He was pulling hair out of his head. All right, listen, we'll be back right after this.